Okay, cool. I just let my girls know some of them were asking if it's being recorded. Okay, should I just get started?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, okay. Hi, guys. Happy Saturday. I'm so grateful that a lot of you guys are here today, but if you're watching the recording, we're excited that you are taking some time out of your day to tune into this. Kristen, Em, and I are really excited. This call is going to all be about vision casting. We're going to kind of go into a really fun exercise, do a little bit of explaining about why our vision holds such a big pull in our business and how we need to be so deeply rooted in our vision to continue to move the needle forward and make progress in our business. So hold the vision, trust the process. We're going to have a lot of great information today, a cool exercise, and then we're going to have a lot of great, like a really cool challenge for you guys moving forward, which I think is going to be such an incredible way for us to go into September, like running full force with a lot of momentum. Okay, so let's just quickly chat about motivation because you guys know motivation can be so fleeting. It's not a linear thing. It's something that comes and goes, not just in business, but in life in general, in fitness, all types of things, right? Motivation is not something that we wake up with every single day, like feeling excited. Like sometimes work isn't exciting, sometimes showing up isn't exciting. So motivation does not always move our business forward. Sure, on some days, but it's not, something that we can 100% count on all the time. We can give you the content calendars and the Instagram tips and the captions and think, oh my gosh, we have it all. Like we have everything that we need to be successful. But we have to have a little bit more than just those resources and the motivation to do that work. Because like we said, the motivation is not going to last. And like, we're so lucky to have all of those incredible resources, but that is truly just a piece of the puzzle. And so we've included this little vision image here for you guys. And I kind of just want to walk you through it. So at the top of the tree here, you see the leaves, like these are the things that like we all see, right? These are the behaviors that we observe, and we can observe them in ourselves. Things like, oh, I haven't gotten a sign up this month, or my views are low on reels, or no one's like responding to my story polls, things like that. These are like behaviors that we see observing in our own business, right? And these are the things that we're trying to change. Like, how can we fix this? How can we make it better? How can more people get engaged? And we can see this in our builders too. If we're leading, and we can take a look at our builders. Oh, my builder's not showing up. They're not being consistent every day. They haven't stepped out of their comfort zone to like try reels or things like that. And how can we change that, right? And then we're like, oh, let's just give them resources, like kind of spoon feed them all the things that they need to do. And that's great to provide them with all of that, but that's not what's making the biggest difference. And what's really funny was when we were first planning for this call, we had this plan of just being like, we're going to just give the girls all of these things. We have this incredible idea, this incredible plan, and we're just going to give it to them. And then we were actually watching this leadership training from Kristen Voss, and she was like, no, like you can't do that. Like that's not going to work. And that's a perfect representation of this image right here, because we have to get to the roots of why we're not ourselves are not seeing success, why our builders might not seeing success, like how could we dive deeper to really see that difference? So at the bottom of the tree, the roots, the nitty gritty, the things that we're not seeing every day are the beliefs that drive our behavior. Okay. These are the things that are really the things that really need our attention, the things that really need our focus, and they are our beliefs and our vision. And that is what we're going to focus on today. We're going to really deep dive into what our beliefs are, how they're holding us back, how we can put ourselves into a future version of ourselves to allow our vision to drive our everyday. Okay. So when we can address our feelings and our behaviors, then we can take that information and have a better understanding of ourselves to actually take action that creates results, right? And so we need to be so committed and so disciplined, but how do we actually become this? So we're going to do an exercise soon that I'm really excited about. So it's going to be all revolved around having a vision that's so clear that it's going to keep us going. And this, we're going to talk about this, but it's going to be different from the why, like the typical, what's your why? Your why should make you cry. It's going to be a little bit different from that, right? So we're going to talk about having a vision so clear that we're not bogged down by what's happening in our present, because we're constantly looking to the future and making decisions based off our vision to move the needle forward in our business. And so as entrepreneurs, as business women, we need to be these visionaries. We need to be this futurist where we're not bogged down by what's happening right now. Because I'm going to be straight up and honest with you guys. I started in June with 21 signups. Last month I had 6. And until 2 days ago, I haven't signed up a single person. I got my first sign up, and just yesterday I sent out 3 new links. And then just today I have 2 new people in my DM. So right now it feels exciting, but I'm going to be straight up all August long. It did not feel exciting. It did not feel good. I was feeling all of the negative feels, but if you follow me on Instagram, I still showed up every single day. I still showed up with excitement every single day. I pushed out story content every single day. Happy Juice was a part of my routine every single day. It didn't matter that I didn't get a sign up, that no one was answering my polls, that I didn't feel like I was getting new hot leads. I knew because of my vision that I needed to show up for my future self, because if I was going to sit there in this uncomfortable space of getting down on myself and feeling bad and thinking this isn't working, then I wouldn't have gotten that sign up. I wouldn't have sent out 3 new links last night, right? So I have to think about my future self and think about that vision to ensure that to help me inform like my present decisions to ensure that our future is actually going to happen. So we're going to talk about how our vision needs to compel us and how motivation is so fleeting. So Em is actually going to take this over. But the last thing I'm going to say just about motivation really quickly is, like, because the motivation is up and down and it's not linear and it's a fleeting thing, we're constantly feeling like we need to fill our motivational cups, right? With like team calls and podcasts, and filling our brand partners' motivational cups with like cheering them on and giving them resources. And all of those things are integral parts of our business, but we need to find a way to be so deep rooted in our own vision that we don't need to like wake up and be like, oh, I need to listen to another Kristen Voss podcast today to like get me on my Instagram stories. So what Em is about to walk us through is going to allow us to have that strategy. And yeah, I'll let her take over. I'm really excited.
Hello. Okay, so this is not, go back, Kristen. This is not your why. Your why, like Nicole said, is more of the emotion for your business. Like I could say, like, why am I doing this? Oh, so I have, time with my kids, kind of thing. And your why is important to know, especially because a lot of the times people usually say this is their why, but then they'll use that as an excuse, like time freedom. But then they say, I don't have time, so I didn't get on today, or I want time with my kids. Oh, but my kids need me, so I didn't show up, kind of thing. But we're going to look past that right now, and we're going to just focus on your vision is your life lived out. It's all the little itty bitty details, and it's all the possibilities of what could be, where you are in a year from now, or where you are 5 years from now. Whatever you're going to choose for the exercise, you see that day so vividly. And I have done this a few times. I actually did this, I don't know, was it a year ago or maybe more ago, one time with Kristen and Amanda leading Boldly Blooming. I had a whole notes typed out about me being a platinum leader with my last business and exactly how my day went out. And I've done this a couple times, just journaling, because I got really into journaling. If you are struggling like with your beliefs and you don't, and like Nicole said, we can't just like listen to a podcast to change it. I really am such a strong believer in like journaling and being able to, write out those things that are scaring you and then kind of change them or whatnot. And so your vision is going to be your life lived out. And this, you can go ahead and Kristen, go to the next page. And this exercise, you're going to be asking yourself the tiniest questions. You're going to think of your perfect day of your life lived out in the version that you want to be. Where do you see this business, this product being able to take you? And so when we do this exercise, ask yourself these questions. What day is it? What is the weather like? What was your morning and your breakfast routine like? What are you doing in the afternoon? How are you feeling? What is happening after school? If your kids are being homeschooled, are you picking them up from school? What does dinner look like? What does bedtime routine look like? What did you spend money on? Where did you go? What did you wear? Like, think of the itty bitty things. And I remember when I did this, it doesn't need to be anything extravagant. It was literally a big part of mine was that I'm sitting in my backyard holding a new baby, and my husband it only works part-time, and he was like playing on the playground with Bellamy, our oldest, and like it was very like that was just a very small, simple part of it. And again, like I said, it doesn't have to be anything extravagant, like, oh, we're out on our yacht on the, it's what is that perfect day for you. And that when you write that all in the present tense. So I even just did this the other day. I wrote August 24th, 2024, and I just wrote some things out. And so write it for, like I said, a year from now, or maybe 5 from now, whatever that is for you. And then we're going to give you like 5 minutes to do this. So whether you can like write it in your notes on your phone, whether you want to write it down in a journal, but I really encourage you to at least get something out, not just to put it all in your head during this quick exercise. Okay, I'm going to mute myself. Okay. Has it been like 5 minutes? I don't even know.
I think so. I was just looking at the clock.
Yeah, I definitely did not finish, but um we want to continue because we don't pay for Zoom, not yet. maybe maybe when we're diamonds. But if you didn't finish, that's probably kind of a good sign. That means that you're really getting into those nitty gritty details. And you're thinking about every little thing. Another thing that I just kind of wanted to throw out there when you're writing these out, I threw in one of the things I was like, oh, I was just able to help someone grab some happy juice as I watch Bellamy play on in our backyard, and this baby is down for a nap. Like, just like throw in those little things right there. Maybe it was a Friday on yours and you wrote, oh, it's payday. Like, how incredibly blessed am I to get paid while I am at the gym or whatever you do. So this vision is, again, who you are in the future, when you picture like why you're doing this business and whatever your rank, your money goal is, you want to know what that is going to bring you. And that's what you want to be tied to. You don't want to be tied to, oh, I just need to hit the rank of diamond. What does that mean? And what does that bring on? And when you look at this thing that you wrote out right now too, what's really important is to see what are some things in that you can implement in your life right now. So one of the things that I wrote is that I wake up before my babies, because that is not something I do right now because sleep is very minimal. But I do try to do it on some days if I know if the night goes well and I'm like, okay, maybe I can get up early now. Those are just some things that I can implement right now to help me get to that version of who I want to be, if that's who I'm showing up as in this time. Another big thing is like maybe you say once your significant other gets home from work, or once your child wakes up from their last nap, you put your phone away. So I put my phone away at 4 p.m. every single day. Maybe that's something you can maybe implement right now. So just think about those things as you look through your vision as well. And so then on days that you don't want to show up, in the moments that you feel like a failure, in the moments that you want to say fuck it, this is what's going to keep you going, because you, as Nicole said before, you don't react to tough situations. You respond based on your clear, amazing vision. And I'm in the same boat as Nicole with this month. Like, 26 people 2 months ago, my first month I got started, hit silver in 22 days. And then July, it was like help 6 people. This month I've helped 1. And it's like, what the heck am I doing differently? And you can get caught up in all of those things. Or how come this person is, especially because a lot of us start this at the same time, it's very easy to compare. But you need to have that vision of like, okay, if I am a diamond in this many years, or if this is who I am in a year from now, is she going to be proud of what she's doing today? Is what I'm doing today going to get me to that version, that person of myself? And so try to always have this, like I said, whether it's on your phone or it's in your notebook, like go back and read it. And this vision is what's going to cause your action. All right. And when you're doing the action, that's what creates more motivation. Reels, posts, stories, lives, connection, whatever that is for you. The motivation isn't going to cause the action. The vision is going to cause the action, which creates more motivation.
Okay. Thank you, Emily. Okay, so what does all of this have to do with, or all of this leading to our next challenge? So what this is going to be how to inspire a brand partner in 10 days. And a lot of you guys had said in the chat, like, when are we going to start this? Can I start this after my vacation? You guys can start this whenever you want. The point of this is to use the talking points, which I'm going to talk about in a second, to create a 10-day plan and commit to talking about the business side of Amari for 10 days straight. We know that it takes a person hearing something 7 times. They have to hear it 7 times before they take action. And we know that not everybody sees our stories or our posts when they're scrolling. So in order for this to be effective, we gave it a timeline of 10 days with that assumption of maybe they're not going to see it every time. It takes repetitiveness. And we want you to also know that this is folded into your current content and like whatever you're sharing. So if you think, wow, talking about the business side for 10 days is a lot, It's not going to be if you're showing up and talking about other things and like sharing your life and the things that your target audience is interested in anyways. This is going to be like just an additional like simple ad that you can talk about. So the why, if you're on this call, we're assuming that most of you are building the business. You're not just like sharing casually, or maybe you are and you're just wanting to hear about how to share about the business, but we're assuming that you want to actually build a business. So we cannot build our businesses with just us and with only us sharing about the products and only us sharing about the business. And repeated exposure to the business is going to pique your future brand partner's curiosity, and also talking about it in different ways. There's only so many times that you could say, focus on five, focus on five. That might not be what your current audience needs to hear. So now I'm kind of on a tangent, but there's like different ways that people buy, and people buy into emotions, they buy into like logic and reasoning. There's like different things, different ways that people need to hear things. And that's why this plan is just like all around very focused and hitting every single one of those like buyer types, if you will, so that one of these things is going to pique their interest and think like, okay, that's what I need to hear. Now I need to have a conversation with her and see like how this can maybe work out for me. So the how, we're encouraging you to write out a plan and do not just try and wing it. I can tell you from personal experience, if I ever try to wing something, I do not feel good about it. I will wake up and feel overwhelmed. I'll feel anxious about it. And it is like something that looms over me versus like me being excited about it. And then I just kind of give up. If I don't have a plan, that's what happens to me. So maybe you're not like that, but we're going to encourage you to have a plan and write it down and actually implement it. And when you post your stories, which I'm gonna talk to you about what some of the prompts are, you're gonna save them to a highlight and call it like my job or work with me or partner with Amari, like whatever you find comfortable labeling it as. And you're gonna post a screenshot in the accountability chat. The accountability chat is just gonna be our current Amari affiliate chat group chat, so that we can all see each other's stories. We can see like how we're all sharing it and cheer each other on. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm going to highlight a couple of them. I think Emily's going to drop these in the chat so that you can like take a screenshot or start writing them down. So number one is, who were you before you started social selling? And you might need to just, I think it would be smart to kind of write all of these down and jot down like some initial ideas. So who were you before you started social selling? Like example, 3 years ago, this was me and this is how I felt. You are going to be speaking to the person that was you, because your target audience is typically you before Happy Juice. Like where you were at, what were you feeling? Were you feeling insecure about things? Were you feeling guilty about going for a Target run? Were you feeling like, I'm just making this up off the top of my head, like a bad mom because you couldn't sign your kids, like you couldn't afford to sign your kids up for extracurricular activities, like those kinds of things. This is your Me Too moment with your audience so that they can relate to you and they could say, wait, everything she's saying, like she's speaking to my soul. This is exactly how I feel, but now she doesn't feel like that anymore. So like, I want to be where she's at now. So let me start listening to her a little bit more. The community you found, number two, the community you found, how it has helped you and who would benefit from being around other women, like women around our community too. This is important because some moms, specifically like stay-at-home moms, need community outside of their like close circle. So you have like your close group of friends, but are those the friends that you talk about personal development with and like business goals and things like that? We all have kind of like different people that we talk to about those things. Like I've met Emily and Nicole once in person, but we have a group chat and we talk all the time, but I wouldn't talk about those things with like my best friend from home. So there's like you have like different kind of pods and things that you talk about. I talk about business goals and like where I want to be and how much money I'm going to make and how many people I want to help. With Emily and Nicole and like other people in my business, not like my close friends. So finding those people, how has that changed you and how has it made you like more ambitious? And how has that like helped you and your family? Number three, how is this a creative outlet for you and who would benefit from doing this with you? Number four, share a struggle within the business and how you overcame it, why you kept going. This is really important because there's a lot of people. Emily just did a really great story series yesterday. If you haven't checked out her stories about like common limiting beliefs that people have when they start this business. And I guarantee you, every single person of your target audience is probably thinking those things. Like, I don't know how to share that well. I can't show up like you do. I don't know how to be strategic or creative or make it real. Like, so you sharing a struggle and showing how you overcame it is, again, like a relating moment of saying like, okay, well, if she experienced that and I think so highly of her and she got over it, if I join her, like she's going to mentor me through it. She's going to help me through it. And like, if she can do it, I could do it too. The simplicity of sharing one product, time freedom, and making your own hours. This is truly, and nobody can convince me otherwise, but this is truly the one opportunity, like business opportunity for you to bring in an additional income for your family without having to sacrifice a schedule. Like, you don't have to go out and talk to another boss and have another schedule and commit more hours that like you don't have, commutes, like all of those things. You don't have to do any of that. This is the only opportunity where somebody can bring in an additional income and make it look like whatever they want it to look like. Number seven, share a payday win and what your goal is to make each month and why that money, what that money would do for you and why it's helping you. This is like a conversation that my husband and I just had yesterday because we went through our monthly finances and realized there's nothing that we could cut out. Like, and I think a lot of people are like this. We are in a position where we are already like bare bones. We have eliminated any kind of unnecessary subscription. Like, all of our outgo is like bills and things that we need. The only option we have is to increase our income. So what does that look like? And that kind of ties into time freedom and like an opportunity that doesn't completely rearrange your whole life. That's network marketing. So what does a payday win look like for you? Does it mean you're going out and getting groceries and not having to cut from somewhere else? So what does that look like for you? Number eight, share systems and support in place. The things that we have to help you be successful and not feel overwhelmed. This is truly like the one opportunity where everything has been plug and play for me and has made it like so easy to do my job, but also be a present mom and wife. The perks outside of the paycheck, like free product credit, gifts, earned trips, like minimum income rewards is a paycheck, but it's still a perk. Number 10, share the 2 types of affiliates. This is really great to get those people that just want to share occasionally. They like $500 would be their goal. So you will either share about you would share both options, building a steady stream of income by building a team and talking about what that minimum income rewards looks like, or sharing here and there and having that main goal to be $500. Focus on $500 is a huge help nowadays. I mean, it's a huge help anywhere. And then the last one is personal development. Have you grown in confidence? Has this business pushed you to be a better person outside of the business? Not every win is financial. Not every win is like a rank advancement. Sometimes it's a win just to say like, I feel more confident speaking to other people. I feel more confident talking about something that I know that's changed my life. Like, I feel more confident all around in how I show up at home, at my job. Like, I have more mental clarity, like whatever those benefits are that you have been experiencing with Happy Juice, like, and this business that has like shaped you in a different way. So sometimes it's not like a financial win. Sometimes it's not like I enrolled 10 people this month. Sometimes it's just, and it's not just, I don't want to like diminish it, but it's something so much more like I feel more confident in how I speak to people. And I love what I'm doing and I'm in a really good place right now. Emily, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I just said like these are just ideas for you. Like this is the order you have to do anything. But I would definitely start with number one if you're gonna say this highlight, because I think that's a really good way to get started. But if you have like other ideas, please like don't hesitate to share when you're doing it. As Kristen said, like the accountability chat will just be like our group chat. So like if you're starting day one, like I talked about the business yesterday, and part of me was like, maybe I should just do this right now because I want to kind of do it before the free affiliate upgrade ends on the 15th of September. Or even not however long it will last. So just like if you're in the group chat, just write like, I just did day one, or like day two complete, or whatever it is. So we can like cheer each other on and just like see how others talk about it, because I think that's really, really helpful too, especially if you've never done this before. We did this challenge in our last business, Nicole and I did, and we had never had more engagement on a singular post in the Facebook group than we did when we did this. And we have never had more people do this and then at the end say, wow, talking about the business is so incredibly simple now because you just did it for 10 days. And it can be like Kristen said, it can be very simple when you're already sharing every single day. It's not like it has to be a whole like 10-minute story. It can be as simple as like you're in the backyard with your kids playing, and you're like, this is the life. Like, I just helped someone grab happy juice and I'm watching my kids play. Like, this is why I love it. You know, like it can be very simple like that sometimes.
Yeah, I think I saw a reel that was so inspiring to me that I'm going to recreate at some point. And it was just a mom playing in the backyard with her kids. And she said the goal wasn't to be a millionaire, it was to be able to do this with my kids on a Tuesday at 10 a.m. Like, those are the kinds of things that it's like, okay, when you read it like that, that piques a lot of curiosity for moms that maybe don't want to be full-time. There are moms that love their careers. There are moms and like women that love their careers and that they don't need any other extra income. That is okay. That is not who we're talking to. So I think sometimes, and I don't know if you guys go through this, but sometimes I'm thinking, like, I write through something and I'm like, oh, is this gonna offend anybody? Is this gonna be like trigger anybody? But then I come back and I think, well, this message isn't for that person. Like, if it's gonna trigger them or like bother them that I'm talking about not wanting to work a corporate job, like this is just not their message for them. So I think it's just like breaking it down into simple wins that you know your target audience would like to see, like playing with their kids at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday instead of being in the office. So yeah, I think that this is going to be really good, and I'm excited to see all of the momentum that comes from it. And like Emily said, once we go through this, then talking about the business is going to come like so much more simpler and easy, and we're going to understand how to create that momentum, like create our own momentum, and also create a lot of curiosity, like in different ways, instead of just talking about like simple things like focus on 5. It's like, okay, how can I make that more attractive, and how can I make that more relatable to the person that I'm wanting to talk to? What does that actually mean?
And I just want to add one thing too, because I always talk about it with my friend Monica on here. Like if your goal right now, like when you're doing it, like sorry, I don't know how to shut off my text. So if you keep hearing that beep, like you don't have to have a sob story of like struggling so much, like whether that's emotionally or financially. Like literally, if you just want to be able to shop at Free People or go get your eyelashes done or go get your, like, if that's what it is for you, like don't be afraid to share that, because I think a lot of people will also relate to that. Like that is one of my goals. Like when I write out my vision, it's like I'm able to go get my lashes done, and the $100 or whatever crazy price it costs these days isn't like a big deal. Like I don't feel bad about that because I'm bringing in, you know, how much money. So if that's like something, like just think about both sides, because there's always like when you think about things, there's always pain points, but there's also a really great pleasure points that people will relate to.
Right. Like I would love to buy a bunch of clothes from Free People and not feel guilty about it. So there's that too. It's not just being a stay-at-home mom, it's having the fun stuff too. Okay, but I think we're going to end. Thank you guys so much for jumping on. And of course, the chat is open. So it's going to be our accountability chat, but it's also just like a good open forum to flow with ideas. And don't forget to post your screenshots whenever you guys start doing it. But I'm really excited to see how it goes. All right. Bye, guys.